Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And we just got some bad news for Hbar. Not the craziest of bad news, but bad news nonetheless. And again guys, I try to provide you all with the most important crypto news on this channel. So if you guys appreciate it, make sure you press that like button, as I'm still a big fan of Hbar. There's just some news. Anyway, this is what Hedera's official account posted. Today, attackers exploited the smart contract service code of the Hedera mainnet to transfer Hedera token service tokens held by victims' accounts to their own accounts. The attacker targeted accounts used as liquidity pools on multiple dexes that use Uniswap's V2 derived contract code ported over to use the Hedera token service, including Pangolin, SaucerSwap, and HeliSwap. Now, SaucerSwap, one of my favorite places, so that for me is really strange to hear. When the attackers moved tokens obtained through these attacks over the Hashport network bridge, the bridge operators detected the activity and took swift action to disable it. And that's again one thing we should always appreciate, how the community is coming together. And one very important thing that people have to realize here, have to know, in these decentralized systems, in theory, the moment that somebody steals something, it's lost forever and you can never get it back, right? There are a couple of caveats in that though, because usually there are some sort of, or at least mostly controllable / centralized entities that money very often, or tokens very often, move through. For example, these bridges, sometimes the exchanges, etc. And very often those entities do have some power to at least stop and potentially give back tokens of sorts. And that's something kind of beautiful, that all these guys can work together to prevent things from getting even worse. The Hedera community, including all these different guys, worked together to investigate the attack. And to prevent the attacker from being able to steal more tokens, Hedera turned off mainnet proxies, which removed user access to the mainnet. The team has identified the root cause of the issue and are working on a solution. And once the solution is ready, the Hedera council members will sign transactions to approve the deployment of updated code onto the mainnet to remove this vulnerability, at which point the mainnet proxies will be turned back on, allowing normal activity to resume. So there's two very important tweets. I think actually one might be more important to note. One, if you're seeing some stuff in your wallet that's not the right way, it's not as if you've actually lost your coins or there's some issue with the price of things. It might just be a little reflection issue because, again, everybody's working on this issue right now. But somebody, Hans Hbar, asked, I wish I understood more. Can anyone explain it to me further how this is possible? And Hedera security seemed unbreakable. So what's going on there? You have to understand that whenever these protocols operate in a ecosystem of sorts, you work together with different parties. And so in this case here, it's the Ethereum virtual machine that was attacked to make things Ethereum compatible and exploited, not a Hedera network or the coin by itself. That's why native coin Hbar is still safe, and everybody having native coin has really got nothing to worry about. Only smart contract dApps have been affected. The mainnet is still working, but only proxies were switched off. So again, as of this point, is it nice to read? No. Is it a big issue? It depends. And if you're asking, is something down? Again, there are going to be some issues for Hbar right now, which will be fixed shortly, but that's just to prevent things from getting even worse. And again, there are so many misconceptions, so many misconstrued ideas about what exactly happened. But again, out of all the breaches, this was one of the easiest ones to get in terms of that it didn't really hit anybody that hard. It's just a little bit of a warning sign. And you can see different people having different exact informational pieces about what exactly happened. Just know this and believe this. If we're really talking about the interest in Hbar and the community's sentiment towards Hbar, things have not really changed too much. I'd even like to say that even though people were fearful for ever so slightly, it's not that bad, and it didn't really hurt many people in some heavy way. Anyway, there's a couple more things going on in the crypto space. Let's cover those as well. One thing that's going on is this right here. New York is suing KuCoin. We talked about it earlier today, I believe. But apparently within that lawsuit, even though they've not officially gotten any files just quite yet, they're claiming that Ethereum is going to be a security. And a little bit later today, I'm going to post a Ripple XRP video where we cover some of this stuff. I just want you guys to understand that it is literally happening, right? Just want you guys to understand that. We're going to talk about that later. Don't worry about it. So one thing you also should also note is, like I covered, after Silvergate, now Silicon Valley Bank considers selling itself. Who's next? Just the whole crypto bank thing. It's kind of funny how Kraken is opening a crypto bank while all these guys are shutting down because, well, the pressure is pretty significant. And talking about crypto banks, crypto platforms, Crypto.com, the platforms, their future is in jeopardy, apparently, amid Euro banking woes. That's what everybody was talking about on the internet. Please, guys, don't ever ask me for a source. Just go to internet and type in exactly what I wrote down. Because I never try to stir up FUD, but usually I post it in a very Googleable manner. Now, to be a little bit more specific, because people were questioning things, Crypto.com struggles to provide Euro banking services to EEA users amid digital asset crisis. Crypto.com also previously lost the ability to accept US dollar deposits, and the firm allows consumers to purchase crypto using credit cards, but now they're in the European Union is a little bit of an issue. It's not too bad, but it's a little bit of an issue, all right? As SEPA's intended purpose is to facilitate local borderless transactions or transfers between network participants within the EEA, the Euro deposit and withdrawals via the service provider are not available to those not residing in the European Union, or at least the European Economic Area. And so there's a little bit of turmoil surrounding that. I just cover exactly what I find, guys, and it sometimes does not go deeper than that. Sometimes these things are not big issues. I just share the news that comes around. Something I'm going to, again, cover up a little bit later, more in depth, as another Ripple video is coming out in, I think, like 3 hours from now. The best way to describe the SEC, Eric Forhayes puts it like this. The SEC is like a torn condom. All the discomfort of protection with none of the protection. Yeah, just it got me good for a little bit. I like this post. That was a good one. Just wanted to quickly share that with you guys as well. And in terms of news, yeah, we can only talk about the XRP price, Bitcoin price, etc. But I think we've covered most of all that earlier in the morning. We did attempt a little bit of a breakout over on XRP. This is again throughout the week, but we didn't really move anywhere just quite yet. In regards to Bitcoin, in a similar fashion, things are, oh, wait a minute, it's not, too bad, it's only opening my XRP. I want to say, in regards to Bitcoin, we are picking up the pace yet again, ever so slightly. Again, we did expect a little bit of a drop down, potentially not as low as it did, but this was the next major target. Even for right now, as it stands, like I've said before, I would not be too surprised if we indeed fell towards $18,000. I would not get too crazy. I just don't think we're going to make another lower low at like 14,000 or so. But we could indeed go significantly lower from here. Then again, this was a major support level. And so it's not too crazy to also just bounce back up from here and continue more towards the upside. But we covered all of that in our previous video earlier today. But yeah, that was it for today's little crypto update. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. And I'll probably see you again later in another video as we're going to cover XRP. So that should definitely be quite exciting.